I bumped into these things.
What's going on YouTube? I'm your host Joss and welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. Before we jump into today's video, make sure you guys are following us on our new social media pages. They are linked down below. Also, share all of your thoughts in the comments below for a chance at a shout out in my next video. Just a few hours ago, a trailer was officially dropped for the sequel to one of the world's most iconic horror films of all times. And apparently Chris has never seen it. Shame on you. Remember the movie that haunted everyone's dreams back in 1980, The Shining? Well, a sequel to the movie is finally on its way and people are losing their minds. I'm going to talk about the trailer with you guys in today's video, Dr. Sleep Trailer Explained. Let's get started. The movie was directed by Mike Flanagan, who is known for his horror films and TV shows. He recently created the hit TV show on Netflix, The Haunting of Hill House. His work never disappoints, so we know that we are in for a real treat with this sequel called Dr. Sleep. Dr. Sleep is a 2013 horror novel written by the one and only Stephen King. How could we forget about the movie that made riding a red bicycle so terrifying? In the novel, following all of the events of The Shining, Danny, who was the young boy riding the bike, Jack Torrance's son, remains psychologically traumatized. How could he not be? Angry ghosts from the famous Overlook Hotel eventually find him. The adult Dan takes on his father's legacy of anger and alcoholism, but eventually finds an AA community and gives up drinking. He settles in a New Hampshire town where he works in a hospice by using his psychic abilities to provide comfort to people who are dying. This is how he ends up earning the title of Dr. Sleep. Straight out of the gate, the trailer shows us that Danny is communicating with someone else, which means they also have the Shining abilities that he possesses. The Shining is a fusion of telepathy and clairvoyance. Being able to shine means being able to communicate with others using the mind. It gives them the ability to see things that have happened in the past or will happen in the future. The words we see are morning and school, and they have little smiley faces written in the O's, which hints that it might be a child that he is communicating with. We see them communicating through a chalkboard, which ends up exploding and leaves the word red drum written on it. Red drum is the word Danny wrote in the first movie, which is murder spelt backwards. This was just one of the many callbacks that the trailer shows us in connection to the first movie. Danny then hears a voice in his head telling him to just talk to the kid, which I'm assuming is the kid he has been communicating with. Not saying that this is true, but the trailer gives off the impression as we see Danny talking to a young girl immediately afterwards. The girl explains that she's magic and says that she knows he has the same abilities too. He begins to explain his abilities to the girl, saying he's been to the dark place where he met only a few people that are like them, but they died. He goes on to explain his childhood, which throws us back to scenes from the original movie of little Danny riding his bicycle down the hotel hallway. We even get a 2-second snippet of seeing the famous bathtub lady from The Shining. How could anyone forget about the bathtub lady? I think it's only fair she's brought back to haunt our dreams all over again. Danny then says to the little girl that it's not magic he has, he's always called his abilities The Shining. That's when hits the fan. The trailer swaps back and forth through flashbacks from the first movie to new scenes from the new sequel. We get introduced to some new characters, which we can assume will be filling in the spots from the novel. By the looks of it, if it follows the novel storyline, the young girl and Danny begin to explore and share their abilities while trying to save her life from a cult known as the True Knot. The cult is known in the novel to prey on children with powers so they can remain immortal. The details of the new plot are kind of hard to piece together as there isn't much dialogue in this trailer, just a bunch of frames flashing between the throwbacks. We do see the ultimate throwback though, and that is when adult Danny returns to the Overlook Hotel and we begin to see the hotel as it was left in the first movie. We even see the iconic door with the hole in it, you know, the one where his dad Jack Torrance acts down to try and kill his mother who was hiding inside. The door is the exact same with the same axed hole, and we can even see the word red drum carved into it. Probably the most chilling part of this trailer is when Danny walks up to the door and sticks his head in the hole the exact same way his dad Jack Torrance did when he said the famous line, "Here's Johnny." It can't help but get your mind racing, wondering if he is going to repeat similar events that his dad did. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens until the movie comes out later this year on November 8th. In the meantime, let me know down in the comments what you got out of this trailer and if you're as excited as I am for it to come out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button before you go and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm your host Joss, and I will see you next time.